Ling Han sat down, cradling Hu Niu in his arms. The little girl clung to him, unwilling to leave his embrace. Beside him, Liu Yutong and Li Xichan sat, one on each side. The four of them occupied all corners of the table. "Senior brother Yue, it seems you'll have to change how you address me from now on," Ling Han said, a grin spreading across his face. Yu Kaiyu felt his mind teeter on the edge of madness. He turned to Li Xichan and asked, "Did this guy promise you something to get you to sit here? Let me tell you, he's a liar, poor and ugly." His pride as a senior brother could no longer be held back, and he began disparaging Ling Han openly. Li Xichan smiled and took off her veil, revealing her delicate beauty. Her features seemed to shine like the moon. "I disappoint you, senior brother Yu. I am here of my own will." Liu Yutong also removed her veil, and her beauty, though different from Li Xichan's, was no less captivating. She smiled and added, "As am I." The veils had merely been a precaution, as they did not wish to draw unwanted attention due to their stunning looks. But with Ling Han back, they felt no need to hide. Yu Kaiyu could not help but stare, his mouth hanging open. He had known these girls were beauties, but their true allure was beyond his imagination. They rivaled Ao Zitai in their beauty. Fortunately, Yu Kaiyu was not one to lose his wits over a pretty face. He quickly recovered, giving Ling Han a thumbs up. "You're amazing. I admit defeat." "Heh, don't tease senior brother Yue too much," Liu Yutong warned, her eyes laughing. Yu Kaiyu blinked for a moment before understanding, then said, "So these two are your friends?" Ling Han laughed heartily. "It seems senior brother Yo is finally catching up." "Curse it!" I thought you were so charming that you abducted two great beauties at your first meeting," Yu Kaiyu said, shaking his head. "But it turns out you've known them all along." He let out a relieved breath. Ling Han chuckled, not taking the comment seriously. He turned to Liu Yutong and asked, "Where are Big Brother Guang, Kanye, and Wuju?" Both Wuju and Kanye have already eaten," Li Xichan answered. "But Big Brother Guang—" She hesitated for a moment. "He seems to have been struck by some blow and has been downcast for days." Ling Han nodded. "I will check on him later, but the important task now is to get senior brother Yu drunk." "Why do you want me drunk?" Yu Kaiyu asked, eyes wide with innocence. "Isn't it worth getting drunk to see such beautiful girls?" Ling Han replied with a grin. "Then let's get drunk!" Yu Kaiyu's carefree nature led him to laugh and slam the table. "Waiter, bring us some good wine!" His reckless spirit soon turned to drunkenness. Under the constant prodding from Ling Han and the others, he quickly became intoxicated, swaying on his seat. Unable to even distinguish how many people were with him, Ling Han helped him to a private room and laid him down, determined to probe further about his mother's whereabouts. "My aunt, she's imprisoned in the Blackwater prison." With the alcohol loosening his tongue, Yu Kaiyu blurted out the truth. Ling Han's heart sank. His mother was imprisoned? The revelation nearly pushed him to the edge of fury. "Where is this Blackwater prison? What's its condition?" Ling Han pressed, struggling to keep his anger in check. "The Blackwater prison is where the sect holds criminals. Most are enemies of our sect, but there are also disciples who've betrayed us," Yue Kaiyu swayed drunkenly. "I used to visit my aunt when I was young, but after the Ao clan squeezed us out, she was imprisoned there 3 years ago. I haven't seen her since. Ah, my poor aunt. Separated from her husband and child, locked in a place of utter darkness. When I reach the spiritual infant tier, I swear I'll strangle every last one of the Ao clan bastards." Ling Han's mind roiled with fury. "How are the defenses of this prison? You want to break in? That's impossible." Yu Kaiyu shook his head fervently. "There are 2 flower blossom tier elites guarding it. Not even a fly could sneak by without their notice." Ling Han nodded grimly. It seemed he would need to reach the flower blossom tier himself to even consider rescuing his mother. Frustrated but knowing time was of the essence, Ling Han stood, his mind calculating his next steps. Yu Kaiyu's drunken slumber was deep, and he left the room to find Liu Yutong and the others. Ju and Kanye were waiting for him, already aware of his arrival. Ling Han handed them some return spirit pills, reminding them, "Strengthening your foundations in these techniques is the path to becoming true elites." Next, he went to visit Guang Yuan. The normally brash man was sitting in a daze, looking as if lost in thought. Big brother Guang! Ling Han waved a hand in front of his face. Startled, Guang Yuan snapped back to reality and looked at Ling Han with confusion. Ling Han? It's me, Ling Han nodded. What's wrong with you? What has you so lost in thought? Guang Yuan hesitated, then sighed, his voice laced with regret. I met someone. An old lover? Ling Han teased, a smile on his face. Only love could put someone in such a trance. Guang Yuan chuckled bitterly. No, it was my old lover's man. Ling Han raised an eyebrow. The situation was becoming more complicated than he expected. Guang Yuan continued, now ready to pour out his heart. When I was young, I travelled through the northern regions seeking strength. I met two others, Duan Zhengji and Nong Qingyue. We formed a brotherhood, but we both fell for Qingyue. We decided on a martial arts competition. Whoever lost would step aside. I believed I could win, but Qingyue chose Duan Zhengji, and I withdrew. However, not long after, I discovered Duan Zhengji had used underhanded methods to force Qingyue's choice. I confronted him and gave him a beating. I went to Qingyue, asking her to leave with me, but she refused. Years passed, and just a few days ago, I encountered Duan Zhengji again. He told me Qingyue has been dead for 3 years. Chapter 356, Memory Crystal Translator Dark Angel. Editor Kurisu Ling Han sat in quiet contemplation, his mind weighing the gravity of the situation. Do you suspect that Qingyue's death was not natural? He asked. His voice low yet steady, Guang Yuan's eyes flashed with resolve. Qingyue's martial arts talent surpassed even my own and Duan Zhengji's. How could she have fallen ill and died? He shook his head. I stand at the 9th layer of the spiritual ocean tier, and Duan Zhengji has ascended to the spiritual pedestal tier. Qingyue must have been at least in the spiritual ocean tier 3 years ago. A martial artist at such a level would not succumb to illness. It is simply impossible. Indeed, once a martial artist reached the element gathering tier, illness became a rare occurrence. The origin power, coursing through their bodies, protected them from mundane ailments. Only poison or grievous injury could bring them low, and even then, they would be in control of their fate until the end of their natural life. If you believe something is amiss, then why not investigate it yourself? Ling Han pressed. I fear that facing the remnants of the past may awaken emotions I've long buried, Guang Yuan confessed, his gaze distant, lost in his thoughts. Ling Han let out a hearty laugh, shaking his head. You are no different than the man you criticize. If you do not confront the past, how will you ever be free? His eyes glinted with determination. Where does Duan Zhengji reside now? He settled here 7 years ago and has flourished since. The Duan clan is now a prominent force in Seabreeze City, with many elites of the spiritual ocean tier under their command. Guang Yuan replied. This, too, was one of the reasons he had hesitated to visit the Duan residence. His status would make any visit awkward at best, and the number of elites in the Duan clan would make a stealthy approach perilous. That is of no matter. Tonight we will go and uncover the truth. Ling Han said with a knowing smile. Guang Yuan hesitated but then sighed, resigned to the path before him. His desire to uncover the truth of Qingyue's death weighed heavily upon him. For years it had been a shadow that lingered, slowly eating away at his peace. His cultivation had even begun to degrade as the unresolved mystery gnawed at him. Ling Han turned and entered the Black Tower, leaving his companions to contemplate the evening ahead. His focus shifted now to the thunder battle armor which lay before him. The armor was a vest, sleeveless, designed to protect only the torso. Made from an unknown material, it consisted of silver-coloured metal plates woven together with metallic threads. Each plate bore a unique pattern, almost like letters, but not quite, more like a kind of symbolic script. The intricate designs reminded him of the markings on the indestructible Heaven Scroll. If this was truly a form of writing, then the armour had origins far beyond mortal craftsmanship. Perhaps it was a relic from the divine realm itself. The thunder battle armour was in a sorry state. A hole had been pierced through the chest, right where the heart would have been. Whoever had worn it had died from a fatal strike, their heart pierced by an enemy's blow. The armour, though damaged, was made from a material so fine that it remained impervious to weapons of lesser quality. It could still serve as protection, though it had lost much of its true potential. Ling Han carefully examined the battle armour. infusing his divine sense into it. The tool spirit, if there had ever been one, had long since vanished. The armor had no life within it now. Still, Ling Han could activate it with his martial intent. He had heard rumors that a thunder-aligned martial arts technique was embedded within it, though he could not verify the truth of these tales. "Let's see if I can bring it to life," Ling Han murmured, injecting his origin power into the armor. But there was no reaction. He then attempted to infuse his divine sense, but still, nothing stirred. "Strange," he muttered. "Even my divine sense from the heaven tier cannot activate this." His brow furrowed in thought. Was the armor too damaged to respond, or was there something else at play? The Black Tower seemed to answer his call. With a single thought, the tower reacted and the thunder battle armor began to glow. One by one, the metallic plates lit up, revealing a language that was utterly foreign to Ling Han, unreadable, yet unmistakably martial in nature. The intricate patterns danced across the surface, forming a script unlike any he had encountered. "This is not writing!" Ling Han realized. "It is a high-level martial intent. To decipher it would take hundreds, even thousands of years." Then, with a shift in his focus, Ling Han observed a small crystal floating in the air before him. A memory crystal. His heart skipped a beat. Such crystals were treasures beyond compare. Memory crystals were designed to record everything within their range, capturing moments as if viewed by a divine observer. Though they could only be activated once, they allowed the user to relive every moment in full detail from any angle. The crystal before him bore a faint black line, indicating that it had already been used. Ling Han's divine sense reached out and touched the crystal, and in an instant his surroundings shifted. He found himself in an unfamiliar, bounded space. He had no physical form, but could move freely within this mile-wide circle. Beyond it, there was only endless white emptiness. Within this small space, a figure appeared, a girl with long purple hair, moving swiftly through a vast wilderness. The scene shifted rapidly as she moved, altering the very landscape around her. Ling Han's heart raced as recognition struck him. This was Zi Shuixian, one of the 7 elites of the heaven tier from his past life. This event had clearly occurred after Ling Han's fall, as Zi Shuixian's aura revealed a breakthrough into the shattering void tier, a realm beyond even the Ashura Demon Emperor's power. Ling Han was stunned. How had she, a heaven tier elite, found herself fleeing in such a desperate state? His mind raced with questions. Why was Zi Shuixian running? What enemy pursued her? And what did this memory hold for him in the larger scheme of things?